Hello guys, today I'm going to discuss how to extract the Twitter data using Apache Flume. What exactly you need for this tutorial? You need a Hortonworks Hadoop cluster HDP 1.3 sandbox, you need Oracle VirtualBox, you need a putty, and you need WinSCP to transfer the data from Windows to your Hadoop cluster, and also you need a Maven for creating the Flume snapshot.jar file. So what is a Flume? Flume is a component which connects to the web service and fetches the log data for you. So this slide just tells you a brief architecture of the Flume. So it has a source. Using source, it just connects to the web server, and it has sync. Through sync, it just connects to the SDFS, and it just transfers the data from the source to sync using the channel. So all this task is taken care by the agent, that is a Flume agent. So these are the basic settings you need to do at Oracle VirtualBox. In your network, you need to make sure you have the two adapters. One is the host only adapter and another one is the NAT adapter. You need the NAT adapter so that you can connect, so that your VirtualBox can use your internet to connect to Twitter and fetch the data. So once you have just run your Hadoop cluster, you can connect to the Hadoop cluster from your host Windows machine by this IP. You can get this IP in your by running the command ifconfig in your Hadoop cluster. So just let me show you that how can you do that. So this is how I have connected to Hadoop from my putty. You can just run here ifconfig. It just shows me all the IPs which I am interested in. So I am interested primarily in this Ethernet 1 IP. So this is the same IP I am using. So once I've got this IP, I can connect to Hadoop from my Windows. I can access the SDFS using this path, with this http.that-ip and :8000. So here it lists down the Hadoop user interface. This is how I just show you how the Hadoop file browser of your Hadoop user interface will look like. So the first and foremost thing which you need to do is you need to set your bash profile. In your bash profile, you need to set all these paths and various Java home and Hive home. So these paths may be different, like if you're using some another Hadoop cluster or another vendor or another distributor. This path may vary, but you just make sure that you find the path as per your own virtual machine and set like the way I have done it in my bash profile. So as I told earlier, the first and foremost is you need to create a Flume snapshot.jar. So what this jar contains, the libraries for proper functioning of Flume. This can either be downloaded by you just Google it, but I suggest that you should create this jar yourself. I will show you how to do that. And to create that Flume jar, you need a Maven software. So if your Java version is 1.6, which is there in the Hadoop HDP 1.3 that I'm currently using for this tutorial, so you can use Maven 3.0 version, and if you are using the higher version of Java, you can use any latest version. So I've given you the path where you can just download it and get the things working. So once you have downloaded, you can unzip in Windows and transfer it to your Hortonworks cluster using WinSCP. So create a link to the folder by command ln-s in your home directory folder. Okay, and set the path of this link in your bash profile as shown in slide number 8. Log off and log in again to the Unix session after saving your bash profile to implement changes. So I'll show you what I did. So let me show you the WinSCP. So log into my cluster. So I have this Apache Maven folder transferred from my Windows machine to my sandbox through WinSCP. So I've just created the link called Maven here, and I have just defined this path in my bash profile. So you can check it's working by just running this mvn -version command. So it just shows you the Maven home and the Java home, whatever as you have set in your bash profile. Next is you need the Cloudera's tutor code zip. You can download it from the link provided. You just unzip it and again repeat the same process what you have done in transferring using WinSCP from your Windows to the Hortonworks cluster. So once you have done that, so you just go to the folder, the CDS tutor example master folder. I go there and then you need to go to the Flume sources. And there you just need to run mvn package. So it's going to take some long process. So it's going to build Flume sources for you. So I'm going to pause the video here. So once you have created this Flume, once you have just run this mvn package, you will see something called build success. And once you do ls-l here, again you see some in one new folder called target which has been created. Just go to the folder and you see you must have two files at Flume sources, one .snapshot.jar file, another one is the old original one. So you need this new one, this Flume sources one.snapshot.jar file. Okay. Now is the process of configuring the Flume. You need a config file to configure that. For that, in Hortonworks cluster, that is 1.3, you will find a Flume config file in this particular path which I have mentioned. So just go there. So I need couple of files. First of all, in this lib directory. So I have listed down all the jar files which you need for the proper functioning of your Flume. So before that, let us just configure the config file first. I mean the Flume env.sh, and then after we config the config file. So the Flume sources.1.snapshot.jar which you just created, you can put it from the location on your master zip folder which you just created using mvn package. You just transfer that file to this location under lib directory. So I go to the config directory and there I have the Flume env.sh. I just open that file in the VI editor. There I need to supply two things. One is the export Java home. That Java home variable, it's exactly the same which you have set in your bash profile. And then I need to set the Flume class path. In that Flume class path, I just need to give the location of the jar file which I have created earlier and which I have transferred it to the lib directory of Flume. So once you have done that, you can just rename this Flume env.sh.template to the Flume env.sh. So these are the list of the jar files. I have mentioned the location from where you need to find all of these jar files. You just transfer all of these following jar files to the lib folder of Flume. So that's all about the configuring the Flume. And now you need to create a Twitter app. So just go to dev.twitter.com and I create a new app. So once I have logged into apps.twitter.com, I just need to create a new app. These are the two apps which I've already created. So just click on the create new app. and then give you some meaningful name to your app. It should be a unique name, some description, and you can give your website, or if you have any website. So once you have created the app, then click on this yes, just click on the agreement and create new application. So I have done that already. So once you have created that, so just click on this project which you have just created and go to the key and access tokens. So in your case, you may not be able to see any key and consumer secret, as well as access token, as well as access token secret. So you need to create those by clicking on create consumer key and secret, and the same way you need to create your tokens, your access token as well as your token secret. So once you have done that, just try to make a note of it in some notepad file. Then you need to create your config file. Just go to the Flume home, which I have told you earlier. There you need to create your config file. Just for in my case, I have named it as twitter.config. So there you need to supply all the parameters I have given. I've mentioned on the website, I have mentioned on this PPT, the slide, in the next slide, what exactly you need to configure. So here you need to supply the SDFS path as well. In the SDFS path, you need to specify the way I have done, like you need to create the sandbox .:8020. That is the path which you can find in DFS.default name, fs.default name, in the code site.xml, which can be found under Hadoop config directory. Plus you also need to make sure before running Flume that you have the same time zone in your VM, what exactly you can see in your host machine. So you just go there and you can check the time by using the date command. So in my case, I have set that to what exactly is the time now. So in case if it's not same, I have given you the process how to do that. Just go to the cd etc directory and then create a link to the time zone which you are interested in, and just give this command. So once you have done that, you also need to set some VirtualBox properties. I have just listed on all the VirtualBox properties. You need to set them in your command folder. You just go to the C program Oracle files. This is what I can see in my folder. It may be different in your folder. So I have this thing VirtualBox. So I will just right click it and open with command prompt. So you can see that our command window has opened. Then you need to run all the commands which I mentioned in the slide. You need to replace your VM name here when you're running the command. You can get your VM name from your Oracle box general settings. In my case, I have named it as a Hortonworks 13. You see that in the name Hortonworks 13 I have been written. So now it's a time to run the Flume. So you just go to the config directory and run it the way I have written the command. You just go there, you copy paste the command. You need to run that from your bin directory. So once you have run that, you will see that the Hadoop Flume agent has started. At first it will try to include all the libraries which you have specified. Then we will try to create a connection to the Twitter. So this is the critical path. So once you have created the connection, you will see something like connection established. So after that, it will try to create some tweets and store that tweets in the SDFS in form of some temporary files. It's going to take some time. It's going to write something, and the type of serializer is text. So you will see. So we actually see the JSON files created under this particular directory. So let me show you the file browser, the path where I have mentioned in my Flume config. It's going to tweets, Flume data. Go to the user, Flume, tweets. So you see all of those files for today's date. It has just created this file. So firstly it will create some temporary files, and then we'll remove that and replace it with the original files. So that's it. That's it from how to fetch the Twitter data. So there may be some errors which you may come across. I've tried to mention as much as possible in the slides. I created one error catalog. So if you see such kind of error, just try to fix it with the solution which I have provided. That's all. Have a good day ahead.